Hello, this is Doris Anverts. Welcome to ACT Math Part 4. We're going to talk a little bit this time about linear functions. All right, the standard form of a linear function is ax plus by equals c. More often than not, you're going to have to use the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. Most often you'll have to, if it's given in standard form, put it in the slope-intercept form and find your slope and your y-intercept. But anyways, it'll depend on the question, but that you have to do that a lot of the time. So your slope is your rise over your run. So it's your difference in your y values over your difference in your x values. And if the two lines are parallel, that means their slope is the same. And these lines have positive slope. This red line here has a negative slope, and this line here has a positive slope. And if the two lines, if the lines are perpendicular, one will need to have the negative reciprocal for the slope. So if the slope of this blue line was 2, a positive 2, then for the other line to be perpendicular, it would need a slope of negative 1/2. So it's not just the negative of the slope, it's the negative reciprocal. So you put a 1 over it. A slope, a line that's horizontal has 0 slope, has 0-degree slope, and a line that is vertical has no slope. Okay. The midpoint is found by adding 2. So if you needed to get a midpoint between two points, then you would add the x values and divide by 2, and add the y values and divide by 2, and that would give you your midpoint. For distance, there is a distance formula. It's written down here. D equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. I like to just draw a triangle and use the Pythagorean theorem when I'm asked for a distance question. So that's what I recommend instead of memorizing a new formula. All right, let's look at a question based on what we've learned so far. A system of linear equations is shown below. 3y equals negative 2x plus 8 and 3y equals 2x plus 8. Which of the following describes the graph of this system of linear equations in the standard coordinate plane? Okay, so we got one line with a negative slope of 2 and one line with a positive slope of 2, and they both have a y-intercept of 8. So is it two distinct intersecting lines? That seems like that fits, but let's look at the rest and make sure it's not something else. Are they two parallel lines with positive slope? No, one has a negative slope. Are they two parallel lines with negative slope? No, one has a positive slope. Is it a single line with positive slope? Nope, we have two different lines. And similarly, a single line with negative slope is wrong. So it's A, two distinct intersecting lines, and they're going to intersect at 8 at the y-intercept. Okay, what is the distance in the standard coordinate plane between the points 1, 0 and 0, 5? When you have a question like this, you're going to want to draw a little picture. It's the simplest thing to do. So we have a point here at 1, 0, and we have a point at 0, 5, and we want to know the distance between those 2 points. So rather than memorizing the distance formula, I just draw it and use the Pythagorean theorem. So here we have a one unit, and here we have 5 units. So I just plug that in to find what C is. So C square equals 1 square plus 5 square. So that would be 1 plus 25, which is 26. So then C equals the square root of 26. And you don't have to take it any farther because you see your answer choice has a square root of 26 in it. All right, what is the slope of the line represented by the equation 6y minus 14x equals 5? So we're going to convert this from standard form to slope-intercept form so that we can easily see the slope. So to do that, you're going to want to have the y on the left by itself. So we're going to add 14x to each side. So we know there's going to be a plus 14x over here. We're going to divide the 14x by 6. We're going to divide both sides by 6. So we know our slope's going to be a positive 14 over 6. But if you look down through there, you don't have that because that's not in its simplest form. 14 over 6 can be reduced down to 7/3. So your answer is H, 7/3. All right. During a snowstorm, sorry, anyways, during a snowstorm, the relationship between the depth of accumulated snow, y inches, and the elapsed time, x hours, was modeled by the equation 2x minus 5y equals -5. One of the following graphs in the standard coordinate plane models the equation for positive values of x and y. Which one? Once again, we're going to want to put this in slope-intercept form. So we're going to want to get the y on its own on the left. So we would, let's just work that out. We're going to subtract the 2x from each side. So we're getting a -5y equals -2x minus 5. We're going to divide by -5 on both sides. We're going to get y equals, these negatives cancel each other out. So y equals 2/5 x plus 1. So which line there, it looks like that. So let's just go ahead and eliminate any that doesn't have a y-intercept of 1. So now we've got it already narrowed down to A and B because these all have different y-intercepts, not 1. So 2/5 slope. 2/5 slope, your rise is smaller than your run. So it's going to be more horizontal than it's going to be vertical. So it's going to be A. So you're going up 2 and over 5 each time. Up 2 and over 5. So A. All right. What is the length in coordinate units of the altitude from C to AB in the triangle ABC shown in the standard coordinate plane below? Okay, if you look at C and look at AB, don't make this too hard. All you're going to do is drop a line, and to know the length of that line, you'd see that your y-coordinate up at C is 4, and your y-coordinate down here on the whole line AB is 1, so 4 minus 1 is 3. So it's a very simple problem. So it may look more complicated, but it's really quite simple. The answer is A, 3. All right. When points A and B, which they give you B is -3, 4, are graphed in the standard coordinate plane below, the midpoint of AB will be 1, 2. What will be the coordinates of point A? So they give us that B is -3, 4, and they give us that the midpoint is 1, 2. So we can plot those here at the blue, and then we look at the difference in the x values in those two. So we're going from 4, in the x values, we're going from -3 to 1. So that's a difference of 4. So the x value changed by 4, and the y value changed from a 4 to a 2. So that went down by 2. So a difference of -2. So that's the midpoint here. So we know that A is going to be over here, and all we got to do is go over 4 again and down 2 to get the answer. So 1 plus 4 would be 5, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So your answer is going to be 5, 0, K. All right, that's all for the linear functions portion. We're going to talk some more about functions at the next part. We're going to cover inverse of functions, some composite functions, and quadratic functions. Thank you for watching. See you next time.